All right, let's see what we got now. The machine. Brutal, yeah, let's be brutal. What's the machine? Oh no, Coda. So Coda is the machine. Of course, I don't even know. Is this a true story or is this just made up for this game? Okay, well, let's see. Getting overwhelmed by stuff. Alright, let's keep going.
And of course, it's the machine.
The gaming industry, capitalism itself, his mind. What is the machine? Society itself. It's 7 months to make this. You stop. Your work was keeping us healthy. That was saying that's. Yeah. Is it me saying that to myself? Nothing. Who's the I? Look at this. My friends. No, they're not friends. The machine may refuse me to deliberately hurt us. Pay a retribution. Okay, it seems like these choices don't have much choice. Destroy the machine. Look at all this. Alright, let's go back. It's this area again. Oh yeah. Get a gun again for once. Yes. Coda will assemble. Coda might be no.
So now the work is becoming self-destructive. And I'll tell you, at the time that I first played this game, shortly after he made it, here's what I'm thinking to myself. I'm thinking that Code is stuck in his own head, and that it's having a very
He's pretty
negative
self-aware
effect on
about it, though.
him, and that all he needs to do is just start showing his work to people, to get some actual feedback on his games. It might get him out of isolation.
And then, of course, I guess that would stress him out even more, though.
So, as I'm thinking this, I realize that I could be the one to initiate it. Because it would never occur to Coda to start actively soliciting feedback, so what if I did it for him? If he could see the difference it would make to have more actual conversations with other human beings, would that bring him out of his mental spiral? Would it give him confidence in himself? Would it bring meaning back into his work?
Well, I don't know if I did, to be honest. But is this the result of that? Because he said talked about machine depressed. Sounds like disappointing people. It sounds like it stressed him out.
So I started showing Coda's work to people.
That stressed him out.
Took this one, and the islands which you just played, the theater, the notes, the house cleaning game, and some of the prison escape games. I brought them to people that I knew and trusted. I asked their opinions. And the great part is that they really loved his games. You know,
They seem pretty simple, though.
Just to give him some external reference point, but they genuinely loved his work. There was nothing for him to be afraid of.
Oh, it's got a cutscene. Well, obviously, you end up being afraid. I don't want to put down my weapon. I want to keep shooting things. Yeah, destroy the
Can
machine.
you see why I felt like this was the right thing to do?
I guess he didn't.
Because it's the thing that I always feel like I need, to be told that my work is good, that I am good. When someone really connects with a thing that I've made, when they see themselves purely in my work, there's nothing that feels better. And I got to give that very same feeling to my friend. I did something, I really felt like I'd done something good, like I was a good person. I felt like there was a friend who was in trouble and was unhappy and,
Well, obviously
and maybe
that didn't
like
help him.
themselves, and I could fix it. If I could give him this gift, maybe I could fix the problem. When they told me how much they enjoyed his games, it was the best feeling. It was the absolute best feeling. It made me feel so happy. So beautifully, beautifully happy.
Yeah, so it's on to the next game. That's got to be a reference to like the machine that people talking to him.
So anyway, Coda finishes this game, and then really he just kind of takes off for a while. So this is June of 2011, and I didn't hear anything from him for several weeks, I guess. And so out of nowhere, one day I get an email, and it's got a private link to a new game of Coda's. This one is called The Tower, and to my knowledge, it's the last game that Coda ever made.
They say that as if he's dead or
Let's
something.
take a look.
Okay, so that's the last game Coda ever made.
And this is where I have trouble saying anything meaningful about Coda's work. Because more than anything else, the tower just feels distant.
It reminds you, was it
feels like it's
the Man
trying
Without
to
a Purpose or
distance
the?
itself from the world.
It's like
It's a
the
very
Twilight
cold
Zone.
game.
Look at that. We're going into the Citadel. That's what we're doing.
This room actually has a maze in it.
Ah, it's huge. Oh, what?
Except that all the walls of the maze are invisible. And then every time you touch one of the walls, there's this awful flashing and noise. So the experience is really miserable.
Oh, well.
The game goes beyond not being meant to be played. It actually seems to despise the player for trying to play it at all. But I do want to show you the rest of the level, so when you're ready to continue, press enter and I'll put a bridge over the maze.
Okay. Yeah, I would not go. What happens if I jump off? Alright, let's just go do the rest of the maze. Like, it even shows like that. One, two. So that's what it is. Like, it must be just a generic texture for the wall. And source. Because the Stanley Parable had something that looked similar.
And to be fair, it's not like this is the first game that's needed some modification to be playable.
Yeah.
Like the house cleaning game. You know, that one used to actually loop the cleaning chores and you just cleaned a house forever. I had to cut it off so that you could exit the house and the game would actually end.
Yeah, well, I wonder how stable
But
this game
that
is, and it's got
had an
other
idea
demos
that
in
was
it.
actually trying to communicate. What's the deeper idea behind the invisible maze?
It's
The
a
only way
Takeshi's
past
challenge.
this challenge is to randomly guess the 6-digit code.
You can brute
Like
force
the
it.
invisible maze, it's frustrating to me because it's the opposite of everything else that Coda has made. It doesn't encourage thought or engagement. It doesn't ask anything of me except a lot of my time. If I could have reached him during this time, then maybe I could have asked him, but I couldn't. I still don't really understand why this is here. I'll put the code on the ground for you here though so that we can move on.
Fine. Makes it so you gotta play the game like you're developing it. You gotta check the source code or whatever. No way you could brute force this. Well, you could brute force it, but it would take way too long. Longer than it is feasible. Keep going.
The switch to open this door is actually on the other side of the door, meaning that it's literally impossible to solve from this side. So even if you somehow brute forced your way through the first 2 challenges and you got to this point, there's actually just no way to progress.
Oh, what a great game.
And it's scary for me, the idea of Coda cutting himself off entirely, just saying, you know, that's it, that's the end of the conversation, not giving me any way to fix the problem. I feel like a failure, I guess, when I can't fix the problem. But I can open this door for you, so let me do that.
Is there any ending to this?
Was I a failure for not understanding this game?
Well, obviously it wasn't meant to be beaten.
It's not like everything needs to have a solution, but I feel it somehow. I feel like I failed, and I don't understand why. I remember, it's June of 2011. I'm playing this for the very first time.
Yeah, you have to hack it to beat it.
I'm thinking to myself, I don't know this person. I have no idea who this person is. It wasn't the guy I knew, it wasn't my friend. I had come to so many conclusions from looking at all of his work up to this point, and then suddenly none of them
made any sense.
I had been trying to, though. That was the thing. For years, I was trying to get to know him, to understand who he actually was and what he stood for. I asked him so many times to please just tell me what his games mean to him. I asked him please to tell me what the 3 dots mean. And he wouldn't.
What 3 dots? Huh. Guess he feels that there is no meaning to them. He just does it because he feels like it. Actually, but there's obviously a deeper meaning to this.
Strongly that if I could have connected with him, that if I could have somehow made his work my own, that I would finally be once and for all happy. It was that I needed to see myself in someone else. I needed to be someone other than me.
You're Coda.
But
Say
he
that.
stopped and left. And it felt somehow like I had failed.
I don't know.
Where did I screw up?
I'm confused who this Coda is. If this is even a real person, these are real games, or these were just made for this. Oh, is this like...
I'm the reason that you stopped making games, aren't I? It's because of what I did. I poisoned it for you.
Hmm. Oh, you made it.
I don't think I ever told you this, but when I took your work and I was showing it to people, it actually felt... it felt as though I were responsible for something important and valuable.
Okay. So it makes it feel like... And what times do you think I'm making these games for you? Well, there was one time where you got excited and told him about it, so... There must have been a point where you did feel that way. We felt some sort of excitement sharing it.
And the people who played them, they treated me like I was important. They really listened and cared about what I had to say. Even though I was showing your work, it was... I felt good about myself. Finally. For a moment, while I had that, I liked myself.
The one... Wow. Changing my games. Stop adding lampposts to them? Oh. So he is the one that added the lamppost?
And then you stopped. And I didn't have anything left to show people. I just had to be with myself. And as soon as that happened, there was no feeling at all. Nothing. Less than nothing. What does that mean?
Well, he's obviously broken and depressed if he's doing this. You're not my problem to solve.
I'm afraid that I did something really stupid because I don't like myself.
Alright. There's no way out this time.
That's why I'm releasing this collection of your work. Is because I haven't been able to find any other way to reach you. I've tried everything. And So a part of me has hope that if I put this compilation out into the world,
That's
and if I put
weird.
my
Right, he
name on
doesn't even
it,
have his
that
permission.
maybe enough people will play it so that it'll find its way to you, so that I can tell you that I'm sorry.
I don't even know if that...
I know
There's
I
more
screwed
to
up.
it than this, because if he
I
didn't have his
apologize to you
permission and
truly
sells
and
it, I don't
deeply,
know if...
Will you start making games again? Please. I need to feel okay with myself again. And I always felt okay as long as I had your work to see myself in.
This is weird. Weird way for it to go.
Is something wrong with me? Because I know that I did an awful thing, and I'm doing it again right now. Like, I'm showing people your work, but I can't stop myself from doing it. That's how badly I need to feel something again, like I'm an addict. There has to be something wrong with me. Can I apologize? What if I tell you I was wrong? Will that work? Will that fix it? I don't know. I don't think it will, but there's nothing else that I can do. Just tell me what you want. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Please,
This is just getting weird now.
start making games again. Please help me. Please give me some of whatever it is that makes you complete. I want whatever that wholeness is that you just summoned out of nothing and you put into your work. You were complete in some way that I never was. And I want to know I want to know how to be a good person. I want to know how not to hate myself. Please. I'm fading, and all I want is to know that I'm going to be okay.
It is fading, yeah. It was getting close and getting smaller and smaller. Is that the end of the game? Epilogue, wow. What is this? It sounds like a funeral music. Train.
More love, more praise, more people telling me that I'm good. Always more. It's like a disease.
So you don't want people telling you you're good. Okay. You want people to say you suck. Okay, no, obviously that's not what I wanted to get out of it.
Solution. I guess if someone had told me ahead of time that he just really enjoyed making prison games, maybe I wouldn't have thought he was so desperate.
Well, how does he know that?
He was depressed?
Oh, well, maybe he was depressed.
Maybe he just likes making prisons.
Obviously, we can't confirm that. Only you don't know how they feel. We can only guess. But just because they say they're not depressed doesn't mean they aren't. They might not. They may be in denial or not be exactly aware of it. But is this the? I'm still trying to
Even
figure out who this Coda is.
The disease is telling me to stop. Don't show people what a shitty person you are. They'll hate you.
Oh. The text messages that he's okay. Huh. Yeah, but he says that, but I don't know if that really means that he's okay. Maybe he just wants people to leave him alone, so he's telling them that because he thinks that if he tells people he's not okay, that they'll try to reach out to him even more. He just says he's okay, so people leave him alone, even if he's not necessarily okay. Of course, that's a lot of assumptions. I don't even know if this Coda is real, if this is even real games, or if it's just made for this. How do you know what's real and what's not? I don't know enough about this. I kind of just went into this game blindly.
If I knew that my life depended on finding something to be driven by other than validation, what would that even be? It's strange, but the thought of not being driven by external validation is unthinkable. Like, I actually cannot conceive of what that would be like.
Well, everyone needs external validation. But I don't think there's a single person who doesn't.
What now?
We'll see. Oh, it's pretty expansive. Competitive.
I think I need to go.
Well,
And I'm sorry, because I know that I said that I would be here and I would walk you through this, but I'm starting to feel like I have a lot of work to do. I have a lot that I need to make up for, and so I'm just gonna...
he said I'm just gonna, not just going to, but I guess gonna is not really a real word. It's just a contraction, essentially, of going to. I'm good at all this. Jump. Jump in. I'm tired. Guess I didn't sleep very well. Now what? Let's see what's in here. I guess you gotta jump down here. Do you die? Nope, no fall damage. I'm gonna have to read up a bit more about this game. I assume I'm gonna have to go in there, or something will happen. It's a video game, but it's definitely an atypical video game. That's for sure. Yeah, this is the follow-up to the Stanley Parable. I just played the two games back to back without knowing that they were actually linked, to be honest. It was just kind of a coincidence. Oh, there we go. We're gonna have to walk into that. I still don't know if Coda is a real person, though. Alright, time to go. Yeah, there we go. Look at that huge maze. Endless maze. Yeah, you can look around. Is that the end, or is there something more after this? It's definitely a lot more expansive than the original one was, where you can actually see the edge. Well, I guess that's the end. For R. Who's R? There's no way Coda is a real person, because if this was real, that person, you can be able to just commercially release their title without their permission. So it's gotta be made up.
Let me keep going. But the cave goes for miles and miles and miles. And you're so tired.
Oh, yeah, it's fiction. I'm pretty sure it's fiction, because if you just commercially release Coda's games like that, there's no way you would, like, especially just admitting that you're just taking someone else's games and releasing it on Steam, it would be taken down. So I guess you gotta find what the hidden meaning is in the game. So because it's not an actual person, so it's more a reflection on the person that developed the game, not Coda. So what did the person who's developing the game want people to think about Coda? So I guess that's it. It was a pretty short game, but that's okay. I played it because it's short. So how many chapters are there? So these are escape, house, lecture, theater. Well, I guess that's it for that then. Thanks for watching. Take care.